And I'm back, YouTube. I had to restart the live because, as you know, I'm a social justice activist and I am outside in these streets screaming, stop church abuse, stop church abuse. So, you know, I'm like a vigilante. I don't have an online passport for these streets. And I'm the number one target chair, enemy of the mega church called state, baby. So I have to have 8 accounts just to speak my truth, and they come online and they try and get me off the internet. So I do have to do quite a lot of swaps, shifts, and changes. But I think it's good. I think it's good for you to keep on your toes. So if you're coming from the part one, welcome back. I am gonna do a little I don't know, like just a little like catch up, because if you're finding me online for the first time, then please go over to part one, and I'm going to give you a little synopsis of what I was speaking about in the other live previously. So I've been kind of meditating on why are these church cult trolls so weird? They're so nerdy. The way that they speak, their strange behavior, how they're offline, very robotic, very strange, very weird. They don't fit into popular culture because they're in the South Sealand system. I've been talking about the cult psycho ed that supports this argument and gives us a description and ideological theoretical concepts to help us understand and make sense of their very weird behavior. So just to give you a quick synopsis of what I was talking about, the first thing is that there's a loss of authentic self. That's from the Robert Lifton theory. Mirroring the leader. That's the narcissistic supply theory. Cognitive dissonance. That's the Festinger's theory. Then we have the hive mind, groupthink, Janus theory. And that's where, you know, the cult leader, it's just his mind that we're following. He's the infallible ultimate truth. Why are they like that? That's why I'm telling you now, Jail. This is why they're like this, girl. It's because of all of these cult tactics and the psychology that they use to strip people of their identity. Do you get it? So that they just become like a robot. They're offline. Identity erosion. So that's the bite model from Stephen Hassan. And it's the whole ideology that when you control the body, the beliefs will follow. Thank you for the gifts. Yeah. The body will follow. So this is the repetition, the ritualistic practices that they have in there in the form of meetings, rehearsals, conferences, events, conventions, etc. They want to get you into a habit where it becomes your life, it becomes your daily routine, and so you become codependent on those routine structures and systems, and so you can't live a normal life outside of that. All right. Woo, I'm glad they made me restart. I'm on fire, Jail. That's what Dr. Umar does in all his little rants, repetition. Dr. Umar's exactly the same. Dr. Umar, the American president, what's the other one? Andrew Tate, they're all the same, Jail. They're all malignant narcissists, girl. I don't even get into that black supremacy rhetoric, Jail. I don't deal with them, man, them. I don't deal with them, man, them, because you see me, I don't chat. And I find them very disrespectful. Me, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna dislocate your shoulder. Do you know what I mean? My brother's an MMA fighter. He told me how to break a nose in like 4 seconds, the part of the nose where to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play games, I don't play games. Self-defense. Are you alright? My brother's taught me how to rock it out like a gypsy. My brother's mixed race, but he come out looking more whitey and he's with like the gypsy man, them, the hooligans. Are you alright? I'm not the one, babes. So Dr. Umar can go. Do you understand? Because I find that man very disrespectful. I can't stand him. He's the type of man, yeah, he needs a backhand from a woman. Do you know what I mean? To humble him. Yeah, I've never been feeling that, man. When I saw his child come out and start exposing him, I was like, oh, look, my gut's never wrong. A woman's intuition is never wrong. That's why you can see me saying allegedly, babe, but this is from deep. This is 20 years worth of life work, Chair. I've been in education for years. I've been working in these settings for years and years. It's not like I left the cult and then got up one day and started coming on the internet and chatting. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is over 20 years of my life's work. It's mad. Like, I just keep thinking to myself, I never thought that God would use me in this way. Not in a million years. I always thought I was going to be in the mega church. But it's crazy because God, don't play with God, man. That's the one thing I've learned. You should fear God, or you should really fear God, especially when it comes to worshiping a man. It's not even like, oh, God's jealous or God's angry like that in that way. It's like God's sad for you, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's given you freedom. He's given you free will. He's given you a birthright to have dominion over the birds of the air, the fish of the sea. God has given that to you as your basic birthright, chair. And that malignant narcissist wrapped in a cloak of false hyper religiosity. Christ told you about them. Wolves dressed in sheep's clothing. You can't even see it. You're so indoctrinated that you can't even see it. And this is why we see these types of comments and this type of behavior. All right. So I've given you a little breakdown of what I was talking about prior. I wanted to understand why their behavior is so weird. Like, why do they act like that? Why did we used to act like that, chair? And I've given you the psychology behind it. Now we're on to the last point, and I may dive into something else because I've started a part 2. So I may go into a little bit around the trauma. I may share something a little bit special, give you a couple of points. You never know. So stick around. You're in for a ride. Okay, so now let's look at the last point as to why these culturals are so nerdy and so weird. It's because malignant narcissism is in the system. So there's this whole rhetoric and culture. There's this whole rhetoric and culture that is, to survive in the cult, you must become a mini version of its god. So you must become exactly like the cult leader. The cult leader's narcissism is contagious. The members become narcissistic echoes. Remember I said to you, it becomes an echo chamber. So whenever anybody needs advice, counsel, support, whatever, they're all thinking, acting, talking, behaving like the cult leader. So that's why they're just getting echoes of the cult leader's doctrine, the way he thinks. Because in the malignant narcissistic's mind, because he has grandiose ideologies of self, he thinks that the world would be a better place if there were more people who thought, acted, talked, spoke like him. And that's the malignant narcissism. That's why they're unwell. Do you understand? So in short, they look weird because cults rewire identity. Instead of being free thinking individuals, they become cloned extensions of the leader. Chia! Constantly performing devotion to prove loyalty. Woo, babe! And to silence their own doubts. I want to quickly highlight on this loyalty thing, because this is the reason why I believe God planted me as a seed in Dagwood Mills' cult. He's always wanted to be famous. Now I'm going to be the one. I got to be the one that makes the world know his name. But don't worry, it'll be real statistics. It won't be made up figures, share. Because when I get views, baby, and I've just begun. This is me on a budget, baby, in the hood, sweet chat. I ain't even started yet. Wait until I get some money. Wait until I get a budget, baby. Wait until I get the technology. It's going to be over. It's going to be over for y'all. So this is the reason why God planted me in Dagwood Mills' cult, because he's very big on loyalty. And one of the characteristics of a cult leader and a cult is loyalty, actually. It's unaliving devotion to the cult leader. It's that they will require loyalty and obedience and subservience in the system. And do you know what? It couldn't have been more clearer. It was like I was in there for 18 years, but when it was time to leave, it was time to leave, because God showed me. It was like he's got the book on loyalty and disloyalty. Everything is about loyalty and disloyalty. The Fort Reform program is about loyalty and disloyalty. If you're not loyal, if you are not so far up the pastor's derriere to the point where you're swimming in his intestines, you ain't getting nowhere in there. And to them, that is what humility is. Humility is you acting like an idiot. Humility is you swimming in the pastor's intestines. Humility is you standing up and giving the 1,000 offering when he calls it out. Then all of a sudden you've proved your humility. How are you supposed to prove your humility? Can we see it? Can we see humility? But they had to package it into external factors, outcomes, behaviors, actions. It's the actions that you take that prove your loyalty. It's the actions that you take that prove your humility. What's the actions? What's the actions, huh? What's the actions? When I've got to choose between going to my mum's 50th birthday or being at your blood clot convention, does that show I'm loyal? Yeah? That shows because I'm willing to turn my back on the one who raised me, that gave birth to me, that carried me for 9 months. Tears my mum cried that I didn't even see. Food she went without that she didn't see. Now I've started going to this church cult for 6 months. Now I'm calling this guy daddy and this guy mummy, and up underneath their batty crease. Are you all right? I'm not the one. I'm not the blood clot one. Especially when I'm not well. When I'm not well, this is a constant reminder of the fact that I'm disabled. A constant reminder of the pain, the distress, everything I have to go through every single day. So when I'm like this, chair, I'm going to talk my talk. And I'm going to speak my speak, and I'm going to talk my truth. And that's our period point blank. And I don't care. I don't care. Because no one's going to silence me, baby. That's why I've got the 8 accounts. This is what it's here for, Jay. It's here because I need to be able to change them over. Are you all right? Yeah? All right. So the reason that they're like this, namely, is because they get GROOM'd in these cults. Okay. So they're GROOM to defend the cult, to be an ambassador, to do whatever means necessary to protect the image, the reputation of the cult leader. They have been GROOM'd and indoctrinated to see anyone that comes against or says anything about the cult as an enemy, as the DEVIL. And that is the cognitive dissonance coming in, because they've been programmed like that. There's thought blockers in their psyche that when you start speaking about the cult leader, it's like the thought blockers start going off. Like they're gonna be frantic right now trying to get me off the net, because they can't handle the truth. They say that we're the ones with all the demons, but why are you manifesting? Why are you so angry? You don't even know me. I'm not even shouting, but you still want me to come off the net. You're still angry. You lot are angry because you've got EVIL hearts. And God has left you to your reprobate minds. Okay? That's why you're angry. For young people, especially, it starts with attention and flattery. So the love bombing. Leaders or older members might spot their potential and their weaknesses and their vulnerabilities. That's why they ask you to be talking about your whole business. If you just met a man on the roadside, are you going to be telling him your whole business, where you live, your mother, your father, your last name? Like, we have to use our common sense, guys. They're just people. We don't know them from Adam. This is why I need people to know the realness. Like these people are EVIL chair. It's all fake. It's all a mask. It's all a mirage. If they were addicts before they came in the cult, they're still an addict. They're treating the setting as a supply for them. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's why a lot of people would just collapse if the church cult got shut down or there was another pandemic. You get me? Thank you, 36. Appreciate you. So then what they start to do is GROOM them by telling you like you're special, you need to use your gifts, flattery, love bombing, and then they start to give them new positions. That's why it's very position based, ranking, because it makes you feel like you're achieving something, and they can love bomb you. They can make you feel special because they create these false systems in a false kingdom. All right. So they give them like positions in music ministry, ushering, whatever. And then they give them constant praise and adoration, tell them they're anointed or chosen. So do you see that the supply is not just from the leader to member, but the other way around as well, but it's top down heavy. And then there's that abuse of that position of trust. Your cult leader or your leader or your shepherd or whatever is always a bit older than you, even if it's a few years. And that's why it's dangerous, because you're not seeing the old geezer. It's 18-year-old Charlene that's come to you off the street. You know what I'm saying? Inviting you to the church cult. And you know what I've noticed? Like, I used to be very impressionable and influential with the girls. The man them were just trying to sleep with me, yeah. But the gal them, it's like they're 14, 15. I'm 18. I'm driving my car. I look good. You look at me now. I still appeal to young people now. I'm 38. So could you imagine when I was in my prime, in my 20s, the gal them really wanted to roll with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like they GROOM us to GROOM other young people. It's young people grooming young people. And then they start to GROOM you about the prophet. Oh my gosh, the prophet's so amazing. Prophet. And it's like, it's the grooming in the lead up to the convention or whatever, when you're going to see this mighty prophet come and preach. And it's all grooming. That's what they are, Jer. They're gangs. A gang is a high control group. A gang, control and coerce people to do our illegal enterprise and violent. That's what they are. All right. These people are doing it through spiritual violence. That's why with gangs we can see the outcome is it might be a color. They might have a certain color that they're associated with, like green or black or whatever. You see them in their black bellies and they got their green on their representing. You get me? Like a certain way that they walk and move and act. Yeah, we can tell that they're part of a gang. And this is not your bog standard person doing it. This is gang specialist, where we're trained to know if gangs are carrying. I worked with gangs, bitch, like in the youth club, like in the hood. Are you all right? In Woods Green, don't play with me, yeah. So we had to go on training to be able to identify it when young people were carrying, all right? So that we would be able to safeguard ourselves and say, oh, do you know what? Can you leave that? Can you take that out of the center? Like blah, blah, blah. And to protect ourselves, are you okay? Yeah. So likewise, you can notice and see with a church cult member or troll by the way that they behave, that they belong to these high control groups, and they don't have a life, and they don't know how to have social interaction. Like, even look at this message, like what he's saying. This isn't even how you write comments, share. It's like a robot. It's like an AI generated message. Like, even when they're texting, it's giving robot. All right. What looks like opportunity is actually grooming. They slowly blur boundaries, late night rehearsals, private counseling sessions, invitation to travel, or being told that you're special to do God's work. Isolation follows. They're told outsiders won't understand their calling. That's a big one. That's a big one. The isolation. They're like, people don't understand. You have to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And all things shall be added unto you. You have to hate your mother, your father. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was RADICAL. You have to be RADICAL if you want to win the souls. If you want to win the lost at any cost. It is very important to know that as you serve the Lord, as you focus on the goal of winning souls, everything shall be added onto you. Christ wasn't interested in building houses. These times they're millionaires. It's very psychological, but deep rooted too, historically and culturally. Yeah, girl, we've dived into that. We've delved into, like the King Leopold letter from Belgium, the atheism, all the connections, the deconstruction of Christianity. They're not ready. They're not ready for that, for them conversations, girl. But we are. Do you get me? And because my life's a bit sensitive, I'm not going to lie, that and they're active today. I'm not going to get into that discourse, Andrea. But do you know what I will tell you, girl? If you go on my YouTube, Queen, on Leah Lauder 777, I've actually got a playlist, and there's one, I think it's called the race discourse, pathologization of the black male, or it might be radicalization of the black male chair. Girl, you gonna see it you gonna see it when you go in there. You can't miss it, chair. The picture's got what around the guy's neck, baby. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, girl. Yeah. You know what they used to do up to us back in the day in Lavery? Yeah, chair. That's what I'm saying, Matt. The guy's bound in the picture, chair, so you can't miss it. It's the only one there. Because I had to unpack it, girl, because there was too much conversation and rhetoric warning. Like, for example, if you can see me in that picture, yeah, I consider myself as an African female. But when I first started doing this, from the cult, they were calling me Oroni. I was getting called Oyimbo. And that's why the Nigerian men love me so much, because very colorist. We've just gone through it so much, girl. Because I was married to a Nigerian man for almost 10 years as well. Yeah, I've got a lot of followers from the Nigerian community, which I am from also, because I did my DNA 37.1%. Okay, nobody has got to tell me that my children are Nigerian. We are all Nigerian in this household. So I'm very, I fell in love with the culture, and ever since I ain't gone back. And I've had more Nigerian D than anything else. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really do be effing with my Nigerian roots outside in these streets. I love a Nigerian soldier chair, but I've had to be celibate now. Andrea, that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. You want to tell me about rape, girl? It's just because you haven't been on here before, girl. I love the Nigerians so much. I had to just go celibate. That's what I had to do, because they're my weakness. Do you know what I'm saying? So I had to be like, no, because they need to deconstruct and deprogram. And the ones that I like, unfortunately for me, are the uncles. It's not, well, the money also has something to do with it, but not fully. That's what I'm actually attracted to. So that's why I always get what I want, because, they can tell the gal them that are just here for the dope. It's like, oh my gosh, you're like really attracted to me. Like, you really like me. So, Andrea, that's just to give you a little feeler. Ghanaian culture is beautiful, but there is a heavy patriarchal, colonial, religious contamination. Yes, girl. And even more so in Ghana. Why is that, chair? Because I've been around Nigerians and Ghanaians, and I've noticed the difference. It is really, yeah, man. But you know what? My cult leader used to have this cult jargon analogy that he coined, yeah. And he used to say they think their golden stool. They think the golden stool is evil. What golden stool? They think everything's EVIL, girl. That's not from the Eurocentric whitey lave master. They think everything's EVIL, girl. That's how they're indoctrinated. We've been indoctrinated like since then. Oh, okay. And even he said that my cult leader says, monkey, what is it? Monkey they work, baboon they chop. Monkey they work, baboon they chop. And then he will go on to describe the difference between Nigerians and Ghanaians, that Niger boys are more like entrepreneur, they like to make money, but the Ghana man wants to work. It's like, that's why he's saying they work, but the Nigerians will go out there and they'll be chopping. because it's like they want to be a follower. They don't have no backbone. That's how we talk about Ghana. And then you want me to marry a Ghanaian man. Do you get it, guys? Do you get it? And it's a Ghanaian fundamentalist church culture. But they deny and they uphold patriarchal systems up. Yeah, that's all they do. Yeah, they love it. They love a patriarchal system in these spaces. Andrea, you've come to the right place. Can you see the restriction coming up? They don't like me talking, man. But I've already got the footage from the last one. So even if this went, I don't care. I got it. I don't care. I realized that I actually finished the point in the last live, but I think I was supposed to restart it. They just get so angry because, like, I'm talking to them. But do you know what it is, Andrea? A lot of them log on from Ghana, but you know how it is with the data. Yeah. Don't play with me. In the pandemic, y'all were begging from over there. Yeah. They were begging and telling me that they're building bricks out of sand. Girl, it was so sad. Oh my God, I might have them pictures still because a missionary sent us pictures of him building the church buildings out of sand. Guys, it was like God was trying to reveal it to us when we were like deep in, like wake up, that he's collecting money off you to build all these buildings and have all these church cults in the world. But here they are. This is free labor, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. This is how I'm going to end it, yeah, because I'm going to come back. Andrea, make sure you're following me. Queen Lucia, if you can, my love, because you might be doing something at the same time, can you pin my main account, Leah Lorda 7, please, my queen? And then, because people like 36, Andrea, there was a next gal here. Oh, you're following? Andrea! Chair! TB Joshua did this as well. Let me quickly tell you, 36, when I saw that documentary, I couldn't... I couldn't watch it, the first episode, the whole way through. I still haven't watched the whole thing. I just sat there. I spent more time bawling than I did really processing it. If anyone's found me today, follow Leah Lauder 7. I have to have 8 accounts just to speak my truth. You've seen how much restrictions I've been getting just this short time I've been on. Because you know what, I've been healing and I've been on my meds and I've been really trying to like work on my anger, because I wasn't angry because I'm like riffraff and I'm whatever, because even when I was on the roads, I wasn't troubling people for no reason. Do you get it? So I've been working on my anger because it's anger that I've had from the cult, angry that they took my life, angry that they took all of my prime years, angry that I gave up my worldly, so much anger, just angry at the world, angry at everyone in it. And this has had to take time for me to come to that realization, and the TikTok has helped, because when I was in therapy, I was watching it back and discussing some of my behaviors, and survivors who have diagnoses around BPD, autism, this, that, and the third, most of the survivors are neurodivergent. It's like, I found my people and they've helped me to identify certain things within myself. So I have been diagnosed for BPD, and CPTSD. I also live with Addison's, which is a life changing chronic disease and a kidney disease, and that's all come from the trauma of the cult. Because what a lot of survivors will develop is autoimmune diseases. Now, that autoimmune diseases, that's a big umbrella chair. It just means that it's associated with like trauma, and it's all to do with the autoimmune system. Yeah. And there's so many investigations that they have to do up, and there is like so many diagnoses. Do you get it? And I know this because I'm in and out of hospitals all the time. Like right now, you lot would never think that I'm as ill as I am now, hearing my voice. You can hear I'm a little bit, sniffly, but you'd never think it, because I should be in A&E right now because I'm dehydrated, I'm ill. They probably need to give me a hydrocortisone drip, whatever. But it's like, because I live with chronic pain, it's like it has to get to so bad to the point where I physically cannot eat and lift myself out of the bed to actually go to hospital, because I'm so used to being in hospitals. It's crazy. The cult seems nuts. I hope others come forward. Yeah, loads of people have come forward. Yeah, there's been a lot of survivors, but I think going into next year, I think, because it takes time. I've been surprised with how many survivors have come forward, to be honest. I represent a collective. There's thousands of us online, and it's a really great community that we've set up. As I said, this is a backup page, in it, because I have to change my pages. That's why I said to everyone to follow Leah Lauder 7, because I'll put where I'm going to be on. And then they report the live as well to get it locked off, to get it restricted. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, But whenever I come on, I know that the people that I'm supposed to reach, it could just be one person on the FYP that's been, they're rallying up the courage inside to leave. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they act like I'm not doing any damage, and what I'm saying don't matter. And but I know, I know, Chale. Do you get what I'm saying? I know how hard it is to get one person established in this. If one person leaves, you're screwed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard to establish people in them spaces. They can buy and love bomb and gaslight and bribe people with Nando's and Kelewele and free whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we know the truth. And on that note, I'm gonna head off, guys. I'm gonna come back at some point today. I think I'm just gonna go and rest a little bit now because I am really unwell and eat something. But I wanted to put something up. We need an independent journalist to do a documentary about this cult in particular. Yes, we do. We definitely do. Well, let's see what the Lord will do. 36. You never know. You never know, eh? The Lord might open a door and bring a journalist to us in a miraculous way. The journalist will come and sit on my lap, okay? And then we will have a documentary. That's what we will do. Eh? Let's continue to pray. 36, please make sure that you are praying. Beauty Abundant Star. Please make sure that you tell all of the rest of them that we are going to be fasting. This is how they act, chair. And then they will get Lucia to send out all the messages on the group, the WhatsApp group. Chair. All right, guys, let me go. Let me go and rest. I'm gonna go and eat something. I might be back later. If you don't see me later, that's because I'm so unwell, y'all. I'm trying to manage this pain from my bed. But I'm good. Bye, Andrea. Thank you so much, guys, for all your contributions. YouTube, thank you for listening. If you come on later, please remember to subscribe. I love ya. And let me know in the comments, YouTube, if do you like the new podcast mic vibe? Ja. If this don't sound good, I'm gonna be so upset, man. All right, love y'all. I'll see you later. Bye.